All of you write this down because it's very important that you have this on hand. It will enable you to travel, not just to Hollow Earth, but wherever you desire to travel to. Anyway, you want to write down this. Distance, darkness, fade away. I seek the mystic traveling ray. Reveal before my mind's bright eye the secrets that I wish to spy. Do that 3 times. And then at the end of each time, you simply say, Hollow Earth. Distance, darkness, fade away. I seek the mystic traveling ray. Reveal before my mind's bright eye the secrets that I wish to spy. Hollow Earth. Distance, darkness, fade away. I seek the mystic traveling ray. Reveal before my mind's bright eye the secrets that I wish to spy. Hollow Earth. Now, that will begin bringing your body into a astral body. You do this 3 times before you go to bed and simply allow it to occur. Your bodies are beginning to feel very light. All of your bodies. And we'll continue, my dear.
No, you are doing just fine. Beloved, continue.
Well, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. I'll catch up and I'll follow in a moment.
Indeed. So, in your astral body, you will watch as you leave this physical body, and you are now in a light body, same body. And as you have your feet now, you will stand up. And we are going to be moving down into the middle of the earth, into Hollow Earth. So, descending upon below your feet, below the floor, envision what is happening, visualize. Below the basement, into below the concrete, feeling a change in temperature already, as you will begin to feel the earth around you. The soil, see or feel the soil. Moving slowly as you get yourself accustomed into moving down below. Feeling more of the earth that you're passing. Feeling the darkness that is around you. But no worries, you are going on a safe and wonderful trip. I shall let you take over, beloved, as we go through the rocks. Feeling now that your body is going through rock. Go ahead.
Indeed.
You will see, as you're moving further below your feet, going perhaps a mile below the ground, the surface, more rocks, more seepages of moisture.
Into the crystal kingdom. As you descend down into the crystal kingdom, you begin to hear choruses of music And the music are coming from the crystals. And they bid you welcome on your arrival to the layer of crystals that are in your Earth's crust. And as you begin conversing with them, you feel their love and compassion engulfing you. Absolutely. And you just feel that you just pure love encompassing your entire being. And then they say, farewell, continue your journey. And from there you go down, and you go past the layers of the lava, the different pockets of lava. You pass right through that. There's no problem whatsoever. And then you go into some other civilizations. You go into the elemental kingdom. And because they're there too, they're also close to the surface, but they are also below the lava layer as well. And then you come upon the blue race of beings, and you converse with them, and they also show you love and compassion. And then you pass down and you come upon some reptilian, and they're also very loving and compassionate as well.
And we are how many 100 miles, beloved?
Oh, around 4, 5. And then
100 miles.
You come on to an area 100 miles or so, 200 miles, 300 miles, 4. And then as you continue down, you come into the domain of the, what you call the, Agarthans. They are taller beings than you, and you can come to their cities, Shambhala the Lesser, and other cities that are also in the Earth's crust. All of the tunnels that are underneath the Earth are Agarthan, yes?
Yes, let us talk a little bit about the Agarthan network. And let us talk a little bit more about the beings, because this is a whole beautiful civilization around.
It is indeed.
Above Hollow Earth.
Yeah, that is so. Yes, that is what is termed as the inner Earth. The inner Earth is in the crust of your planet. All around the crust of your planet, you have several different civilizations, 7 to be exact. And of course, you don't meet all of them going on your journey, but you do experiencing the love and compassion that is coming from them. And all of them are very benevolent. So you want to make sure that you're having a wonderful time, which you are. And of course, the Agarthans are taller beings, between 7 to 8 feet in height. And they are very compassionate and very proportionate and things of this nature. You will find none of them that are obese at all, because they are all vegetarian. Vegetarian or vegan, if you want to term it that. They eat no meat whatsoever. They do have what is called a plant. It's called the mimic plant. The mimic plant is a plant that is grown in the gardens of Agartha, the Agarthans. And the plant has a very interesting composition. It can be construed as anything you think of. You can construe it as a New York steak, or as a whatever type of animal product you're thinking of. It can be mimic that flavor, but yet it is not the actual substance of the meat. It is simply plant-based. So you're not going to be partaking of any animal product. So, and then
Most
going down from there.
Beloved,
Yes?
we are not finished. I think we should speak more
I know
of the
that. Go
Agarthans before we go into Hollow
We
Earth.
are.
Yes.
I
So
was
how
doing
many
that.
millions?
You continue.
How many millions? I shall. So how many millions of population do you think is in the Agarthan network around?
Of the Garden Network? Oh, my Lord.
Yes, all the way around. How many millions or billions do we have?
Around the world, there's several billion, actually. Several billion, actually.
Yes. And how did they
Not
get
billion.
to be there? How did they get to be this here in this?
The Agarthans were
Yes.
always there.
They have always been there.
They have always been there. They were
Yes.
one. They were one of the races that Prime Creator brought them to the earth and gave them population in the crust of the planet. So, and they are quite content and quite very happy there. And
there
of course,
are as
they
well.
will be coming to. Yes.
There were also humans that did enter into Agartha as well.
Oh yes, of course.
Indeed. Okay, so this is what I would like to speak of.
Oh, all right. In the state of Arkansas, a town known as Batesville, there's a cave there. They term it as Blowing Cave. If people go into that cave and they put a compass inside and put a compass in their hand, it will spin. And what that is a gateway into the Agarthan world. Go all the way to the back of the cave and you come to a rock face. Upon putting your hand on the rock face, your hand will pass through it. And you simply walk right into the rock, into a passageway. And that would take you to a shuttle station. And from there, you can traverse any area of the world you wish to go without a passport. Anyway, all of our transportation under the ground is free. There is no cost at all. You do not have to buy a ticket.
What
because
type
there is no
of
borders.
transportation? And what type of transportations do we have there?
We have what is termed as almost like a monorail, but it is not travel on a rail. It travels on a cushion of air, and it is propelled by electromagnetism of the planet. Now, you can traverse many hundreds and thousands of miles in a matter of minutes or seconds, depending upon where you're going. And understand, there are shuttle stations underneath every single city on the surface of the earth. Chicago, New York, Tokyo, Seattle, all of the major cities have a shuttle station about 50 to 100 feet below, underneath the cities. And there are certain structures, certain buildings in those cities that when you get in an elevator, it will take you go to the basement. When you get to the basement, you hit another button that says down, and you hit that button twice, and it takes you down to the shuttle station. So, but many people did not know that. So there's not many people have come down to that area. But also understand that there are shuttle stations everywhere upon the Earth. There is a map that was put together by what you call Bruce Walton. He's an author. And he put together a map that he discovered, and it shows all the tunnels underneath the United States.
Not just the United States.
As well. Oh, all over, actually. But in his publications, it is simply for the United States as a whole. In other countries where his publications were, they showed the tunnel systems underneath there. So, but for America, it showed the tunneling, all the tunnels underneath the United States. So,
the beings,
and wherever his publications were put. Yes, the beings,
the beings of Agartha are of many different well, yes, I was going to say this, but yes, indeed. That is a good way of saying it. Different species. Absolutely.
Indeed. Yes, their culture welcomes all species, no matter what form it takes. Understand you have insectoids, population also in the Earth's crust. You have your reptilians, of course. You have your elfin. You have your leprechaun. You have your fairies. You have your gnomes, and you also have your in the oceans. You have your merpeoples, of course. But also, understand. Let's get back to your journey. we have them sort of stuck. We have them sort of stuck in the level of the Agarthans. We need to get them further down.
Yes, indeed. But it is just for people to know that this is another huge stratum of civilization that is we speak of many times, and that they are alive and well.
Indeed.
And it's very much fifth-dimensional, full fifth-dimensional or above that are there. It is a very harmonious and loving community. Indeed.
And also understand, beloved, before we go further down, one last thing about the Agarthans. Very shortly, there's going to be a time of emergence, meaning the Agarthans are going to be coming to the surface. And they have areas, what is called emergent zones. So all of these zones are situated around the world in areas where there is a tunnel entrance. And they will be coming out through those tunnels, like the one in Batesville, Arkansas. And the ones underneath what you call the Matterhorn, which is a mountain in Switzerland. And you have what is called other locations where there are caves, and these caves are called emergent zones, where the Agarthans will be coming out from. So that will be happening also soon. And so now we can continue going down toward what is termed as the inner portion inside of the globe, on the inside surface. When you emerge and you stand up, invert your bodies actually, and stand up and look up, and you see a smoky sun. You see a light above you, and that light is the central sun. Now understand, it is not as bright as the one you have out here, but it is still a sun, and it nourishes and it gives life, life light to the population inside, into the inner side of the earth. As you look out, the horizon goes up You can see it as it goes up. And beyond the light that is above you, you may see the other side of the world above you, which is quite perplexing for some people. But anyway, so there is no what you call horizon, as you term it, because the land continues going up, always going up. And now you are there. And now you are going to be able to partake of course. Go ahead, my dear.
Perhaps you could tell people the difference between the Agartha people and those of the Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth now has become full sixth dimension. The people in Agartha there are some that are sixth, and there are some of fifth dimension. And everyone should be feeling lighter. Even in your astral body, you could feel this difference in your energy field. Much higher. More
Absolutely.
intense. Stronger vibrational, higher frequencies.
Indeed. Absolutely. Continue, my dear. You're doing wonderful.
So as you look above you, and you see this beautiful ball of smoky sunlight, it is very, very warm. It's not very, very warm. It is just a warm glow. Wonderful, beautiful.
Warm.
Yes. Yes. And we have this always. That it never changes. That is why there is no time at all. Ever. So we live in no time. So when you think that it is going to be dark in your world, it is still the same in the Hollow Earth. We live forever in Hollow Earth. That is why we never grow, as you say, old. We never do. We are always as we are, or as we wish to be, or want to be. Everything is all about what we create, and we are always creating. It is always through thought. So, let us go, and you can continue from here, beloved.
Indeed. Well, you look around you and you see wondrous creatures flying in the air. You call them pterodactyls or flying reptiles. And you see them flying to and fro. And you see people that are riding on top of them because they allow you to do so. That's if you don't want to take the transportation called the sleds. And the sleds are disc-shaped objects that you stand on and above the ground, and you traverse wherever you wish to go without touching the ground. And then you have the pterodactyls. And then, of course, once in a while you will see a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking around with a person on top of them. So understand, your T-Rex is not a carnivorous creature. It is simply, the mindset is simply that of a vegetarian. Has no desire to do any harm. You see dragonflies flying above you, wingspan 6 feet across. Butterflies, likewise. Well, you may see a mouse once in a while, large enough for people to ride upon. Other creatures, but you'll also see people walking around that are much taller than you. Extremely tall, actually. In the range of around between 13 to 15 feet in height.
And when we walk, We do not walk on the grass. We walk just above
No,
the
you simply float above it.
Yes. And the reason for this is because we are much lighter in weight.
Indeed, that's true. And also, you never tire. You can climb the highest mountains there and never tire. We have mountains there that are as tall as Mount Everest, but there's no snow on it at all. So understand that what you have on the surface, you have inside. Likewise, mirrors. However, there is no harshness at all. You feel a loving atmosphere. You breathe it. You breathe the atmosphere. It's a loving, breathing atmosphere. And you just feel it permeating your entire being.
I would like to give you an example.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Those of you who have children, those of you who are grandchildren or who are grandparents and have grandchildren, you know what it's like to feel their joy. Just to be able to see them just walking and playing. That joy feeling is what we feel. Very similar in Hollow Earth. But it's it is always that way. To feel even, when people fall in love in your world, that love that you feel like, oh, everything is so perfect. That is the love we have in Hollow Earth all of the time. We are always in the greatest of joy and love. And all around us is all about that. This is what you is going to be bringing. This is what you are already beginning to bring onto the surface of your world as you begin to transform it. This is what it is going to be like. And you are the ones to do this. So, back to Hollow Earth. So not only are we light, not only then we talk a little bit about the temperature. Now, many of you will say, well, I love the cold, I love the snow. In Hollow Earth, we have no clouds. We do not have snow. It's always beautiful. It's a perfect weather, as you say. It is only about 73 degrees. But if you wish to go and swim, it's also perfect swimming conditions. You can swim even if you don't know how to swim. You will be able to swim and play with the dolphins and the whales all around you.
And never drowned.
And never, no such thing as drowning. There is no fear. No fear of anything whatsoever.
Correct. No, not at all.
There is great appreciation and cooperation. All of these things that we are speaking to you about, that is the future of the surface.
That is so. Very much. Now, as you're walking, or floating, I should say, on the sleds, you go into areas that are, let me say, gardens, if you will, and you go to a structure that is called the Library of Portologos, and you meet Nikos. And he is in this library. Understand, this library is not like any library you would ever imagine in your mind's conception. All of the literature is on crystal plates or discs, and you play them on a player, and you can actually experience what is on that disc, like you're actually there, like a holodeck almost. And it's a living library. So experience wherever you want to experience in history, on the earth, if you wish. Or you can experience what the life is like in Mars, or in Jupiter, or in Saturn, or in Neptune, or wherever. Understand, Hollow Earth is a harmonious world in total and complete harmony. Everything agrees with everything else. Everything is one. All thoughts are one. There is no what you call separation between the races at all. The species that's in the Hollow Earth. We have several different civilizations that come and go through the North Polar opening and the South Polar opening. So we have many, many visitors from different star systems that come and visit. They come there for recreation. And you're experiencing this. You're watching ships flying around, and you're seeing different species walking around as well. Now understand, you can see, feel, touch, taste. And what's the fifth one? Experience. And then
Hear?
your five senses. Anyway. Huh? Yeah, there you go.
Indeed. Go ahead.
Yeah, you hear the music. Anyway.
Indeed.
In Hollow Earth, there's music everywhere. Wherever you go, you will not be void of music, because everything sings. The flowers sing. The grass sings. The water sings. The oceans sing. Why? Because they are happy. They are joyful. And that's all they know. In the ocean, you cannot drown because the ocean will not allow you to drown at all. It holds you up, keeps you on the surface. Unless you decide to want to go under, then you can. And you have no need of oxygen. You have no need of oxygen tanks because there's oxygen within the water, and you can breathe it. So you do not have to worry about drowning at all, and there's no fear of drowning. So you're in bliss. You already know you're in your astral body. You already feel no fear at all. How wonderful is that? It's wonderful. To be able to swim with the mighty dolphins in Hollow Earth and the mer peoples and not have to worry about air tanks. It is the same on the surface. You do not need to have air tanks to breathe underwater in the oceans, in the lakes, swimming pools, or whatever. You do not need to breathe oxygen because it's within you. Remember, you are not your body. You're just a vessel, and your essence is in your body. So, how can your body drown with your essence in you who has no fear? In Hollow Earth, there's no fear at all. And you are able to partake of Mother Nature, pick up a strawberry, see how large it is, oranges, and blackberries, and things of this nature. They're huge, in comparison than what they are on the surface. And all places that have where you want to stop and eat something are all vegetarian based. There's not anything there that is meat at all. You will not find any carnivorous creatures in Hollow Earth. You may see a saber-toothed tiger, but a saber-toothed tiger is not a carnivorous creature. It is a plant-eating creature.
You people on the surface have learned to be carnivorous. It is time for you, as you take back this power that you have as gods and goddesses, to begin to be compassionate and kind to all animals. So why would you want to eat meat? That is why you have plants and vegetables and fruits and trees that provide you adequate nourishment for your light bodies. The more light that you can absorb, the lighter you feel, the less you will wish to continue to eat meat. This is why in Hollow Earth or Agartha, that if people would like, if they have come from the surface and would like to eat some meat until they can transform into and knowing not to eat meat, they could have the mimic plant, as my beloved has said. For all of you that is on the surface, the reason why we are on this trip is for you to understand that this is reality. Your reality is non-existence per se, because again, that was part of the hologram of you coming upon the surface to assist Terra Christa to evolve and humanity to evolve into the magnificence of who you truly are. It is part of the evolution of this galaxy, are a part of the larger galaxy of the Milky Way. You are us. We are you. We are on a journey, a larger beyond journey, even beyond Hollow Earth. But we won't go there right now. It is time for us just to focus on the now. You have an understanding of what the surface is to be like. You have a wider vision now of what you want to see and what you will create. And soon you will have your mentors because they know now that they can come. The more you raise your vibrational frequency of what you see, when you look outdoors, don't look at it in terms of, oh, this is just the grass and these are just the trees. Look within in terms of what they really are in essence. They are you. You are one. And then you will begin to see them glowing. You will begin to feel their energy of love. You will hear the birds. Yes. It will. This is your awakening time for you to begin to feel and see the essence of who you are and really, really bring it into your awareness. So, my beloved, I think we need to, I know we haven't seen it.
When you go into a house there in Hollow Earth, when you enter, you will look up and you'll see no ceilings at all. None. They're not needed. You do not want to be separate from Mother Nature. Separated from. in your hovels. In Hollow Earth, all of our buildings are round, and they are built in and around Mother Nature. There is no what you call separation at all. And understand that there is no, what you term, waste also, body waste, as it is so termed. That is one of the questions that had been asked. Where do you have bathrooms or toilets or things of this nature? Understand, when you relieve yourself, it simply is dissolved into nothingness. The moment it exits from your body. So there is no need for sewer plants or anything of that nature, because it all dissolves into nothingness. And I will tell you this also. When you go finally to a full, what you call, vegetarian diet, you will go to the bathroom less and less, because there's no need for what you call digestion once you begin the journey toward being vegetarian or vegan. After a while, your body will simulate everything, and whatever comes out will not even have an odor to it. The odor comes from the poisons within the meat. So when you eliminate that, you eliminate waste completely. Indeed.
Indeed, beloved.
We love you too. Yes, you may continue, my dear.
I think it is time to return to the surface.
All right.
We will take another trip, of course.
Well, why don't we simply get in this shuttle?
Why don't we do this? Let's go.
Indeed.
Let us go on the shuttle.
Indeed.
Okay. All right. You are the pilot. So let us go.
All right. You go to a shuttle station. You enter, and you sit down in the seats, and you find yourself in an atmosphere of joy, atmosphere of love, compassion. And your hosts that are in the vessels, the pilots are so termed, they greet you with open arms. And they say, sit back and enjoy your ride, which will only take moments in your counting. You will be on the surface in a matter of, at the most, 5 minutes, depending on what portion of the service you're on. So, now you are exiting the shuttles in your prospective stations, wherever they may be, on the surface, underneath your cities. You step into the elevators and you go up onto the surface. So you notice the difference there. The moment you break the surface, you feel the density of the surface. How did you feel inside? You felt lighter. You felt joyful. You felt happy. You felt harmonious. Did you enjoy your journey? That's awaiting you in the future, even on the surface. There will be no more wars. There will be no more armies. There will be no more suffering. There will be no more poverty. All will be in abundance, and this will be a fact.
This will be reality.
As above, so below. As below, so above. The same